Do you know that you do not need to have a bevy of letters after your name? You don't have to have fancy certificates on the wall, and you don't even have to have a fancy title to be you. Have you ever felt less than sometimes? Have you ever felt that you didn't belong or fit in because you didn't have all these credentials that society says you need to have? If you've ever felt that way, this episode's for you. Colbert Kean Conversations. Let's talk. Welcome to Colbert Kean Conversations, where real stories spark real change. I'm Melody Colbert Kean, and each week we'll have a conversation about the moments that shape us. We'll discuss leadership, community, and the courage it takes to advocate not only for yourself, but for others. These are conversations meant to inspire action, ignite hope, and remind us of the power of our voices. Colbert Kean Conversations is intimate, empowering, and made for everyday people navigating real life. Click subscribe, join the conversation, and let's step into your boldest, most authentic self. Colbert Kean Conversations. Let's talk. Today we are talking about how you can be uniquely you and not have to worry about fitting into somebody else's mold of what they think you should be. How to be authentically you, how to be uniquely you. And I say unique because there's no other person that's you. You are the only you that God made, so you need to walk in that. Just because you may not have a title, you may not have a degree, you may not have a certificate or those fancy initials after your name. But that does not mean that you are not valuable, that you are not worthy, that you are not important in the eyes of God, but in the eyes of yourself. A lot of times we will try to fit into a mold of somebody else's expectations, and then we're just constantly chasing it. We're constantly chasing it because we're never going to fit into it. We have to learn how to be ourselves. And being yourself is going to give you the most satisfaction. It's going to help you succeed in life. And it's going to help you learn how to approach things in only the way that you can do it. There is a time that I felt that I wasn't enough because I didn't have credentials or things like that. I remember reading an article in a magazine that said, and it was showcasing some women who were doing some wonderful things. And I mean, these women were like in Georgia, New York, different places around America, but they were doing things that were just head and shoulders above a lot of things that I feel that I have done. And for an instant, I had this feeling of inadequacy. I had this feeling of, is anything that I'm doing even worth anything? Because here they have these women who are just elevated and in positions and have these titles and are just making moves and doing things. And it left me feeling a little bit unworthy. It left me feeling a little bit of not enough, and that my value or my contribution may not be enough to what I was doing. And at that time, I was the mayor of my city, and I had done some things. There's some things, and as I look back now, I realize there was a lot of things that I had done, but at that time, it didn't register that I had accomplished some things, that I was important in my own mind is where I should have been important, but I wasn't seeing it that way. I saw it more as I was holding a position. And if you've ever felt that way, then definitely pay attention in this episode, because we're going to talk about how you can be uniquely you, how you can be proud of the things you are doing, how you can be, just take whatever it is that you have done without your titles or without anything else, and just know that this is your experience and no one else can live it but you. So take like the myth of importance. That's what we'll call it. The myth of importance. And that myth is that you have to have a degree, you have to have a job title, you have to have a salary range that fits in a range of what's deemed as professional, or you have to look a certain way on social media to be important. You have to have so many followers or so many likes, or you may even have to have that blue check on your after your name. Now I am working to get that blue check. Don't work, I am working to get that, but that does not define who you are. That does not lend you importance just by having these things or just by checking off the boxes of salary or checking off the boxes of whatever job title you may have, president or CEO, whatever it may be. Because when people ask, well, what do you do? And the first thing we want to spout out is our title. We want to say, I'm the CEO of, or I'm the manager of, or the director, or the mayor, or whatever it may be, because it lends importance to us. It helps us be seen as importance in the eyes of others. But the trick is we have to be able to be seen as important for ourselves without those titles, without those positions, without that desired salary, or without that simple blue check on the social media. We have to learn how to accept ourselves, love ourselves, and be comfortable and confident in ourselves without outside validation. So you might say, yes, it's an inside job. And that was in one of my previous episodes. I had talked about an inside job. Everything that you're going to ever accomplish in life is going to start on the inside. First, it's going to start in the thoughts, and then it's going to start in your heart. Those are what's going to drive you to do things that are going to help move you towards your goals. So whenever you hear things like they're a CEO, or she's a doctor, or he's a manager or a teacher, value is instantly placed on that because of that title. And another funny thing that happened to me while I was mayor and introduced myself as just my regular name, Melody Colbert Kean. No biggie in the scheme of the world, right? Well, someone else came by and was like, you were talking to the mayor, right? And man, you should have seen the whole atmosphere shifted for this person. They became this, oh, wow, yeah, oh my gosh, and it's like, okay, when it was just my name without the title, I was just somebody else, some everyday person in your eyes. But when that title was attached to my name, then all of a sudden I hold importance. Yeah. Don't get caught up in that trap if possible, people. Do not get caught up in that trap. Do not let that outside validation of that title be what determines your worth or be what determines your value. Remember that you are valuable without all of that. And if you think of it this way, if you have to wait for someone else's certification of you or validation of you, I'd be like, man, I'm gonna be like sitting on a bench as a skeleton because the time is never going to come. The time is never going to come. It's never going to happen that somebody is going to validate you enough that's going to move you to do something, move you towards action, move you towards your goals. You have to learn how to do that yourself. You have to learn how to go within to be able to produce whatever it is you want to produce. So when we talk about normal, we'll say normal, just as a buzzword, we'll say normal. We'll say the truth about being normal. It's like being average is worldly view. It's a worldly view, but it's not God's view of you. Everything you do, your quirks, everything you have, your inconsistencies, even your doubts, and we all have them. We all doubt ourselves from time to time, but we're working on building that confidence. But all of that is what makes you, you. And I'm telling you, God only made one you. One you. How did I become mayor? Because it was my time to be mayor. It was my time in God's eyes. Out of 8 billion people in the world, it was my turn, my time in God's eyes to be mayor of my city at that appointed time. That's how you have to look at what you are doing and who you are. You have to know that Romans 8:31 is going to always work in your favor. If God be for you, who can be against you? And if you have people who are against you, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. The only thing that matters is what you think of yourself and what God knows about you. So keep that in mind whenever you run into some powerful people that you think are powerful because they have a degree or they have names behind their names. They have initials behind their name. They have certifications. They have all these plaques on the walls or trophies or whatever it is they may have. You have experiences. And the experiences you have are only what you have done. They are only what let me retract that. They're not only what you have done, they are what makes you uniquely you. It is the only thing in your life that no one can take away from you, that no one can lay claim to, and that no one can say, oh, I can do that better. Nobody can be a better you. No one. So don't worry about what other people are thinking. Don't worry about if whatever your present position is and you haven't quite accomplished your mission yet. Don't worry about it. Because whatever is meant for you, whatever is meant for you to do, it's going to come to pass. It's going to come to pass. It may not be tomorrow. It may not be in the next week or two. But it is going to happen. But only if you believe in yourself. Only if you have confidence. Only if you believe you're worth it, if you have value and believe you have value, and then put forth action behind it. A lot of times we don't get a lot of things because we don't put a lot of action behind it. And I know I have failed at that miserably sometimes. Let me take that back. I don't like to say fail because it has such a negative connotation. But what I would like to say is I find an alternate way to do things. I find an alternate way to succeed. So take failure out of your vocabulary if it has a negative connotation for you and just say, I find alternate ways to succeed or to accomplish something. That's just a little throw in there for you. But just remember, yes, everything may not happen when you think it's going to happen, but it will happen. So when you look back and you reflect on some of the things, you need to know that I may not have a degree. I may not have a certification. I may not be this or that, but I do have drive. I do have determination. I do have willpower. I do have confidence. If you have all of that, then you're going to put forth some action. And they may say that, well, you're not an expert. And you're like, you know what? You're absolutely right. But I'm experienced in life. I have things that I have been through, I have things that I'm going through, and I have things that I have helped someone else with. And when you think about it, that's what we're here for, is to help someone else. When we help other people, that's success for us. Because not only does it give you a really good internal feeling, it gives you this, I don't even know how to describe it, but you are helping someone achieve their goals. You are helping someone get closer to their dream. You're helping someone feel good about themselves. And with your experiences, you're showing them a way on how to overcome something that you've already overcome that they may be going through. So don't discount yourself. Instead of that, saying, you know what, I'm priceless. You're not at a discount. You're priceless. And that's why we have to dig deep, pull out what it is that's given to us and use that in our everyday life. So I just want to let you know that although you don't have this or this based on society's standards or social media standards, because that plays a major role in our lives too, especially with how prominent social media is. But just because you may not have all of that, that does not mean that you're not worthy, that you're not valuable, that you are not the best thing to happen since sliced bread. And you have to walk in that though. You have to believe it. You have to feel it. You have to think it All of those things have to work together to give you your confidence to push forward, to push through those rough times that are going to come. Because the rough times will come. And I'm not saying it's going to be a walk in the park. Everything's not going to just fall in your lap. You can say all the positive affirmations, and you do need to do that, by the way. And you can think positive. All of those things are part of your journey. It's not just the only parts of your journey, they are part of it. And putting all these things together is what's going to help you walk into your authenticity or walk in your authenticity. That's what's going to let people know that this is me, like it or not, this is me. And this is what I have to offer the world. And what you have to offer is greater than anything you can ever read, anything you can ever uncover, any courses you can ever take. Once you believe in yourself, no amount of anything is going to stop you from achieving your goals. So I just want you to know that being enough, being worthy, and being uniquely and authentically you is all the certification you need to succeed, to be yourself, to make it in this world. Because this world's going to throw everything at you. It's going to throw it. It's going to throw it. But as long as you have it up here and in here, you're going to make it. You are going to make it because you are the only you that God created. So be that. Don't worry about being somebody else. Thank you for joining Colbert Kean Conversations today. I hope this episode was an eye-opener for you and a reminder that you are important, that you matter, that you are valued, and you are worthy. And I keep stressing that because so many times we don't believe it. And it keeps us from moving, from taking action, or from moving towards our goals. So you are worthy and you are worth it. And like, comment, or share this episode because there's someone else out there who needs to hear it just as bad as I needed to say it, just as bad as I needed to hear it, and just as bad as you may need to hear it. I appreciate you, and we'll see you next time on Colbert Kean Conversations. Let's talk.